Hi, this is Jim Yukevich, managing partner of Yukevich Cavanaugh. I'm coming to you once again from our mock courtroom in our offices here in Los Angeles. We use this courtroom to better prepare ourselves and our clients for trial, and I think it's fitting we're here today because I'd like to give you a brief update on recent developments here in Southern California on the prospect of remote jury trials as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Here in Southern California, we're starting to get some good news on the vaccine front. And after a significant surge over the past several months, new infections are on the decline. We all hope it stays that way. But the truth is, we still don't know when things will go back to normal, and we really don't know what normal is going to look like. We know that we'd like to see traditional in-person civil jury trials in a courthouse. That's where we're going. That's where we'd like to be. And it may be then that even if that situation improves and more people are vaccinated, many of the things we've gotten used to as a result of the pandemic, wearing masks, social distancing, plexiglass dividers, those could be with us in a courtroom for months or even years to come. The courts are concerned about this as well. And here in Southern California, we're starting to see signs courts are exploring the concept of remote jury trials very seriously. This is where all the parties, judge, lawyers, witnesses, jurors, are all in different places while connecting via the internet to conduct the trial using software like WebEx or Zoom. Back in November, we released a video called Trial by COVID. If you'd like to see it, it's on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Yukevich Cavanaugh. You'll find it there. Our Trial by COVID webinar discussed some of the issues, some might say problems, posed by trying to hold remote trials, but it doesn't really matter because this is in the process of taking place. Judges are proud of developing criteria and procedures to make it happen, and probably we're going to see quite a few trials in the next several months to 6 months to a year that at least have some component of this Zoom format. So, Riverside County announced it was going to resume jury trials on March 1st of this year, a couple of days ago. We're not aware of any jury trials that are currently going forward right now in Riverside, but you need to know that Riverside County has put out a detailed booklet entitled Protocol for Remote Jury Trials. Now, before, we were talking about the concept of remote jury trials, but in Riverside, Protocol for Remote Jury Trials is written and published by the judges. And it's not just this document. There's a 2-hour video where you have to watch if you're an attorney going to Riverside to try a case, and also special instructions for attorneys that are much thicker and more complicated than this. So Riverside really, at this point, I think, believes they're on the forefront of remote civil jury trials. And what do we know? We know that when someone takes the initiative to do things like this, other people, other courts are going to copy them. So you should be aware both of these documents are available on the Riverside County Superior Court website. But for your convenience, we're including links to these documents along with this video. Take a look. If you think that there's going to be no video trials or Zoom trials in the future, you need to look at this stuff and figure out it's going to happen. If you need to get a copy and can't get one, all you have to do is shoot me an email and I'll send one to you right away. This protocol offers the most detailed procedure for holding remote jury trials in California that I or about anybody else have ever seen. We were not aware of any civil jury trials taking place, but getting familiar with this procedure is important for lawyers and clients because I can tell you from experience, a lot of judges, not just in California, but around the country, are eager to try this format. Why? Because they are backlogged, because they need the court system to start again. And because of COVID, and because of the requirements, because we say, at least the president said today, everybody can be vaccinated in the United States sometime in the early summer. There's enough vaccine for everybody. But think about that. It's just March. And by the time the courts get back into a position where they can really do this, it could be September, October, December, January of next year. Some trials are going to take place, so here are the key features of Riverside's court protocol for remote jury trials. First, the court is going to use WebEx for remote jury trials. There's some argument that Zoom trials are more likely to be hacked into, less reliable, so WebEx is their choice. The protocol includes a sample notice for counsel to provide witnesses with instructions on the WebEx appearance, so imagine that. A witness has to take a look at what it is you provide them and figure out how to hook up their computer so they can go online and actually be in a courtroom based upon sitting at home. Sometimes it's hard for the jurors to find their way into the courthouse, let alone do that kind of thing, including witnesses. The protocol discusses the procedures for authenticating documents in a virtual trial. Now that should be fun. Here's where remote jury trials can make things difficult. It's not possible on WebEx to question a witness about a document without the document being visible to the jury, right? Makes sense. So the court is recommending stipulations on the authenticity and foundation for documents to be made in advance. Otherwise, the court counsel and witnesses will have to use WebEx breakout rooms to address questions about admissibility. The court has set up a procedure for the parties to submit questions for a virtual juror questionnaire and for counsel to review prospective jurors' responses. Not easy. For jury selection, the parties can agree on how many individual prospective jurors' screens or faces may be seen at one time. So think about that. How many potential jurors will you be seeing on a small panel in a courtroom, or maybe you're at home too, to try to figure out who it is that you're going to accept and who it is that you're going to challenge? The court's recommending no more than 18 jurors be examined at one time. That's hard in a courtroom. Think about how it's going to be on a WebEx. WebEx can show up to 25 prospective jurors' faces at one time. Think about that. We have a big screen here, 25 faces on here, hard to keep track of. The court strongly recommends that mini opening statements, which are now permitted by law, in fact, if someone asks for them, they have to be given them, be used in jury selection in remote trials. Why is that important? Because you need to get your case out to that jury as soon as you can. Because there's going to be a certain amount of remote trial teams fatigue that will set in as the trial progresses. So it's going to be even more important to get your message out right away. Counsel will be responsible for ensuring their witnesses have the technology and internet connection and can testify. And they can be heard. Sidebars will be held in WebEx breakout rooms. Jury deliberations will take place in a WebEx breakout room, but that's going to be set up by the court and the staff. The court will recommend the jurors pick a foreperson with technological prowess. Now, that's unbelievable, right? That's going to be the basis for the foreperson to sit and try to pull together all these people who are at home, wherever they are. The foreperson will have an email address for the court staff so that juror questions can be responded to in a timely manner. Good luck. Jury deliberations will not be live streamed. That makes sense. Juror deliberations are secret. But they'll be able to pick out and choose their breaks, start times, and all those kinds of things without seeking input from the court. Special verdict forms will be filled out electronically, similar to filling out a questionnaire on a tablet or smartphone. And when a verdict is reached, all jurors and counsel will return to the main WebEx room for the reading of the verdict. This protocol addresses some of the issues that remote trials I discussed a couple of weeks ago in Trial by COVID, and I recommend you watch that video for further information on remote trials. That said, some issues remain. One is misconduct during trial or deliberations. When jurors are physically present at the courthouse, they have less opportunity to conduct outside research that may improperly impact the verdict. Even though we all carry smartphones, or most of us, that allow us to access a wealth of outside information at any time, jurors deliberating in a courthouse have other jurors around that might notice if one of them is improperly looking up or researching information on their phone. But in a virtual deliberation where each juror is at home connecting to the trial using a laptop or tablet, what's stopping a virtual juror from conducting outside research while deliberations are actually ongoing? And who would notice? Also, what about the various distractions present in jurors' homes that are not present in a courthouse? Children, pets, telephone calls, doorbells. Each of these has the potential to distract jurors who would arguably be more focused during in-person deliberations. Whether and to what extent remote jury trial protocols actually work remains to be seen. Chances are that some form of remote jury trial by WebEx or Zoom is going to be some part of our future. At our firm, we're trying to learn all we can about remote jury trials to better advise our clients. Again, even if you don't have a trial coming up in Riverside County, you may be very interested to look at the protocols and instructions to counsel from that court. We're including links to the documents with the video, but if you need a copy, just let me know. For now, this is Jim Yukevich coming to you from Los Angeles. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.